And you are live.
Sweet. All right. From what I'm hearing, we are live and good to go. So yeah, I am Stunt, and I'm joined by Captain Swag and Quote. Say hi, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Swag is a fellow runner, and Quote is head programmer, co-creator. So we're here today to do a 100% speed run for you guys. So I guess I'm supposed to just count down. So yeah, here we go. 3, 2,
So I think
1, go. All right. So you guys want to explain what's going on here?
First up we have Series Station. So pretty much the same as any regular old vanilla Super Metroid run. So I think early on, while we have some very similar stuff, I think Quote had some stuff that he wanted to talk about regarding what Project Base is and why it's different but similar to regular Super Metroid.
So I mean, I don't know how many, how familiar people are with Project Base, but there's kind of two things to know here. There's Project Base, if you're not familiar with it, which is a ROM hack of Super Metroid, and then there's the version that Stunt is playing today, which is 0.8.1, which is sort of the big update from the end of last year, and it made a lot of changes. I sort of rewrote the code base and changed a lot of it and added a lot of new features and stuff. So a lot of what you will see in this run, as the Stunt makes use of a lot of them. But in terms of Project Base, if you're not familiar with it, it's a hack that was designed primarily with sort of accessibility in mind. It started from Begrimed wanting to make a hack that was not just like a challenge hack. It was more of just making the vanilla experience better, as well as kind of integrating any new content into the game as if it was meant to be there in the first place. And hopefully you'll see that with some of the new features, like the menu screen that was there. Hopefully it feels like it sort of could have been in there. But Project Base has also been kind of built up over a while by the community. It has a lot of code and changes from a huge number of people throughout the community over the years, because it's been worked on for a long time. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the speedrun, because it's a very kind of fast and smooth iteration of Super Metroid. 0.8.1, however, changes a lot. The menu screen that was visible earlier, just briefly, as Stunt used it there, is one of the main changes. The entire subscreen is kind of completely rewritten and can be expanded easily and stuff. But the only subscreen that you'll see in the run is the options screen that was visible earlier, and it lets you change a lot of things on the fly. Right here, we're going to see a particular skip, which
that is a very, very tight trick. So if I might jump in here. So in the previous versions of Project Base, Bomb Chorizo Skip was pretty much free. You just had to buffer a backflip input, which is one of the new techniques that has been added in this hack. But unfortunately, they changed the physics of it, or I should say they corrected the physics of backflip in this latest update, which makes the trick much harder.
Yes, so essentially the backflip was implemented in a few versions of Project Base ago by the user Sizer. However, when I went to fix a lot of the code and overhaul it, I noticed that there was literally just a typo in it, and so it never actually quite functioned correctly in the previous versions, and so Samus kind of hung in the air weirdly long, which made that particular trick very easy to set up. Now it is a lot harder to set up. You can still do it, but you have to fall onto the item at the right frame window. Still buffering the input with the message boxes, but it's a lot tighter now to get that.
Yeah.
If I could chime in for just 1 second.
Sure.
We do have an incentive right now. I may be a little bit hard to hear. I'm working on that from my end. But we do have an incentive for save and kill the animals for this particular run. So if you want to type an !donate in chat, and there should be a poll to decide whether we should save or kill the animals.
All right, we'll get your donations in.
Yeah, just like vanilla Super Metroid, you can save the animals at the end of the game, and it functions the same way.
Yep.
And
now, I think coming up we have our first big difference between Project Base and Vanilla, and that is PBK clip, or Power Bombs Before Kraid. So the backflip maneuver, as you may have just seen there, so apologies if the delay is a little bit weird on our end. But the backflip maneuver, due to, I think we do still qualify it as a bug, but it is a bug that we've intentionally left in, allows you to break crumble blocks from the bottom, which basically allows you to bypass certain one-way paths. And thus, it allows you to grab power bombs really, really early on, which allows us to break sequence even further. We can actually go and get Speed Booster almost immediately after we defeat Kraid, which will be coming up shortly.
Yeah, and Speed Booster is what's really gonna accelerate the speedrun. The PBK glitch, it's something that is definitely not a correct function of the engine. It's mostly just an oversight in that backflip original code, but it's such a neat glitch, and speedrunners really like it. So since Project Base is very much a speedrunner kind of heavy game, it's one of those things that we just decided to leave in because it's it just makes for more interesting runs, for sure.
Yep. Oh yeah, and that's not to say, of course, that this hack is only for speedrunners. I got into Super Metroid as a game because of Project Base, just playing it casually. I'd always had some difficulties with learning the movements and some of the maneuvers. But playing Project and seeing all the different changes to the map, all of the increased cohesiveness to the world, and just the slightly more fluid movement really made the experience just that much more enjoyable for me. And it was how I actually beat Super Metroid for my first time just a couple years ago. And now here I am.
Yeah, well, there's the accessibility thing. It's really meant to be able to cater to a lot of different skill ranges. I would say that it lowers the skill floor significantly, which is why a lot of people kind of see it as really easy. But it also raises the skill ceiling in certain aspects. Speed Booster is vastly more maneuverable. There's so much more you can do with it. And the timing for it is very tight, especially in 8.1. So it kind of allows a really wide range of people to enjoy it. Now there's two things I want to mention. One is, as you can see, Crate is looking a little weird here. This is because Stunt did turn off the screen shake effect. This is one of the options that I programmed into the options menu here, partially as an accessibility thing. There's definitely some people who don't like, the screen shake visual, but it also can slow the game down. It's definitely something that can cause lag in a number of places. So when you just turn it off, which you can do at any time, it does reduce the delay in a lot of places. But in Craig's room, it actually increases it, and it is worth it for the other places. But Craig just happens to have there's just a small quirk with how it works with him that it increases it. Also, Moonfall is still a thing and it's used frequently, but this is a speed booster here, so I'll let Captain Swag there talk a little bit about the speed booster as it relates to speedrunning, and then I got a couple of engine things to talk about with it.
Oh yeah, so as you have probably already been able to see, Stunt is performing some very crazy maneuvers, and one of the key things that was added in this latest update to Project Base is the ability to cancel or exit out of a Shine Spark in mid-spark by jumping, which allows you to basically preserve your speed boost effect, provided you don't bonk into anything. But it effectively means that you can now chain multiple Shine Sparks together without ever losing speed. And that's one of the things that really makes this run different and so much more crazy and fluid compared to, say, a vanilla Super Metroid run, because the possibilities for routing basically a chained Shine Spark is huge.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You finish your thought?
Oh yeah. So as Quote was mentioning earlier, the speed booster charges earlier. The charge time for building up a speed boost has been cut in half. But again, because of the advanced flexibility, it also means that the skill ceiling for getting really good with this new speed booster can be very tricky. Stunt here is making it look pretty darn easy, but let me tell you, as someone else who runs the game, it's pretty tricky to get used to.
Yeah, and I do apologize for missing some of the things that are happening in the run. It's just it's going to go by really fast, and we can't mention every single thing that's going on. For example, he did unfortunately not quite get one of the kind of door transitions that can be really smooth with that speed booster, but it is really hard to get these because you're moving at the Shine Spark speed even when you've jumped out of it, as opposed to the speed booster speed. So you're moving crazy fast, and it can get quite difficult to make a lot of these kind of jumps, and you have to make like tons of them in a row for a run like this. So it's definitely going to be quite fast paced here. So I will say with Speed Booster, there've been a lot of changes. Jumping at a Shine Spark thing that was just inspired by the game Guacamelee. I thought it was a really great twist on the sort of Shine Spark, and I think it works really nicely in Super Metroid. But you'll also see that he can Shine Spark into slopes, and that's rough.
Yep.
He can Shine Spark into slopes and continue the speed booster, just like the GBA games. So that's another thing you'll see is a lot of inspiration from the GBA games as well as other sources, but all in the pursuit of making a smoother, faster paced kind of gameplay experience, or rather a gameplay that you can go at your pace, and for speedrunners their pace is very fast.
And speaking of fast, Stunt just picked up an item that is brand new to Project Base, and this version in particular, that is the Dash Ball.
Yeah, so we did add a new item. Basically, this is something that is often sort of combined into other items because it's a very small change you can make, and so a lot of hacks bundled in with like high jump or something. It basically just allows you to run in morph ball form, so you simply accelerate the way you would if you were running standing up. But for Project Base, Grime wanted it as an entire item of its own, and I think that adds another layer to routing for sure, because it well, basically any speed related item in this hack is going to really change how you route the game. So Speed Booster, it lets you continue running. There's one more thing that you can do with Speed Booster, and I don't know if he does it here. No, okay, he just shines sparks. So you can now actually run on the water if you have enough speed, and it's a it just fits the correct context. However, it is true that the shine spark is faster still. So it makes more sense to do that in a speed run. But if anyone does decide to play Project Base themselves, you might want to try running on water, because it's pretty fun. And that was just another kind of little touch to Project Base that Grime and I thought would be just a nice little thing for players to find.
Yep. And Stunt back there, getting the strat known as Recos, which is Wrecked Ship Echoes.
Nice.
Basically, you stop on a dime while you have Speed Booster charged up, and the Echoes allow you to basically crumble through a lot of those vertical blocks, travel down the main shaft of the ship in record time. It's a really cool trick, but also very difficult to pull off, so it's awesome to see him getting it here.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks like that look a lot simpler than they are. Like I have tested this game extensively, and especially all of these speed booster things, and I still think it's crazy what they can do with it. It does take a lot of practice and skill to be able to even get tricks like the echoes there.
And we got a fast Fantoon there.
Oh yeah, that was crazy fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's well, so I'll just move on to something here. Something that I forgot to finish mentioning before was along with the other options that he's turned off. One of them is he's turned on beam flicker. This is something that was in the vanilla game and then taken out for Project Base because it looks a lot nicer. However, it makes a big difference for speedrunning. Basically, in vanilla Super Metroid, when you shoot a beam, it only draws the sprite every second frame, and this is just to reduce the load on the frame, so that you're only having to process that sprite once every second frame. But it also looks a lot nicer if you don't have it flicker like that. So Project Base had previously taken that sort of feature out, but with the ability to add options, it's a very flexible options menu, so you can add options as simple as that. That's
that was actually really close. So Stunt there going for a strat that we just recently named Space Jam, which is basically slam dunking the morph ball right into the hands of that Chozo statue there. That's really tough. Again, the ability to jump out of a shine spark cannot be overstated. And to time and to land on a single tile like that is remarkably tricky. And since it only was added in this most recent update, there's still so many possibilities for ways that it can be routed in. So it takes a lot of getting used to. So now we've got gravity suits, and we are headed down to Meridia after picking up some more missiles over here. And I think we might be showing running on water here in a minute here, potentially. Yep, here we go.
Oh, does he?
Look at that. which is so cool.
Very cool. Yeah, so one neat thing about that is that actually it doesn't have to be water. You can run on any liquid. But if you run on acid or lava, it does do damage to you the same way it would if you were just barely touching it. So a little bit of risk reward there. That's one of those features though that is very useful for future hacks that use Project Base. It's utilized a little bit in Project Base, but it's one of those things that is sort of a systemic change that is meant to hopefully expand the possibilities of making new hacks with it. Obviously, the name of Project Base comes from the fact that it is also meant as a base for other hacks to be made with. Comes from the idea that it's sort of a expanded vanilla. So as a result, it also is meant to be really good for making other hacks with as a base. And because of the new options system, it should make changing which of these little changes to the engine that the hacker actually wants to include much easier to set up when making the hack. One random... Sorry?
Oh, I was just going to say that what's up? Alright, I was just going to announce that we just are on our way to Dragon. We just picked up Plasma.
Yeah, so not a lot of changes to Plasma Beam, but it's still just as useful for microwaving Dragon there.
Yeah, good old microwave.
I'll just
strats.
Real quick mention the HUD here, which is different. In the options menu, you can also now choose between a number of different heads-up displays at the top. This one's sort of meant for speedrunning because you can see the input display. So the speedrunner can kind of show all of their inputs going on, as well as the charge meter at the top there. It shows how much of a charge they have at any time. This is a technique for killing Dragon that utilizes the fact that the plasma beam will do damage every frame that it's on an enemy, and the X-ray scope allows it to kind of pause on the enemy there.
Yep. So we've got Space Jump here, and right now we're going to go ahead and Stunt's going to do some cleanup, pick up some extra items around Meridia, and I think now might be a good time for some donations.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm enjoying this run so far. We have a $50 donation from Randomize that says, Matt Pat has already told us the correct answer. Lil the animals. This is a speedrun after all. I assume that means kill, and that was a typo. Could be wrong, though. Yeah, and we also have a $100 donation from the RBG Panther that says, #Fear the Panther.
Nice. Awesome. Nice. Thank you.
I hate to disagree with Matt Pat, but I must say I do prefer saving the animals.
I also prefer saving the animals as much as I hate to disagree with the master.
I also enjoy saving the animals.
There's a couple just...
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of little things I want to just go over quickly. I might have to leave pretty soon, unfortunately. So I just wanted to mention a couple of things. The message boxes, like you saw there, were another system that was completely overhauled in the pursuit of trying to make it easier for both hack creators to edit them and make new ones, as well as just making them a better experience for the user, the player, because in Project Base, the implementation here is that you can actually, it'll update how your max amount of ammo for any given ammo pickup that you get. But that's a very small implementation of it. There's a lot you can do with it, and hopefully hacks can make good use of that in the future. Another thing you'll be seeing, or have been seeing the whole time, is these door transitions. It's a very complicated thing that I've done to them, but the end result is hopefully a smooth faster door transition that is free of a sort of bug oversight from the original game, and it's hopefully just going to continue to make the transitions more kind of seamless. And there's a lot of little things that are in the game, like how the charge beam correctly, calculates the right angle to bring the item drops to you, or how bombs show the beam color that you currently have instead of just the set color. Lots of little things like that are in Project Base to just try and make a better experience for the player at just sort of every point. Grime throughout the years has really added a lot of things to try and just little things that you might notice, you might not even notice. One thing that I forgot to mention, though, that is plainly obvious, the map is different in Project Base. Grime has changed it a lot over the years. It's still mostly a vanilla map, but there's a lot of little things that you're seeing, little shortcuts, little changes in level design, both to make it aesthetically more pleasing and also more enjoyable for routing. That was another little bug that is left in because it's more fun. Just clicking through that. And the last big engine change that I want to mention is just the Automorph System, which is something that you saw there when he kind of flew through that morph tunnel. The idea there is inspired by AM2R as well as the hack redesign, but where redesign had set points that you could automatically have Samus morph into a tunnel. Project Base's philosophy is that it should be kind of built into the, baked into the engine. It shouldn't be something that you have to designate points for. So Automorph in this works on any kind of configuration of tiles that looks correct. So a hack creator can include that in their hack and then build level design without having to explicitly add in that sort of point. And that sort of goes with the philosophy of the engine changes in Project Base. It's meant to make a better experience both for the player, making a nice smooth experience, being able to automatically morph into tunnels by just angling the right way, just holding an angle button and moving towards it, but also for hack creators because it's a lot easier to implement this sort of thing. It's literally just a flag you can set and then you don't have to think about it. So that's just sort of how Project Base's philosophy is when it comes to adding these sorts of big engine changes. The map screen is also very different, and it's along the same lines, but you won't see that much in the run.
This right here is one of the craziest strats, is jumping down through and sparking up through the giant acid-filled room, basically going backwards the way you're not supposed to go. To get to Mickey Mouse missiles over here, or Samus Pfizer missiles, depending on how you look at the tile layout. So
yeah, that's a really fun use of the speed booster.
So now we are on our way to Ridley. So, I think most of the level design here is mostly the same. Actually, I forgot to mention. So another thing, I believe near the start of the run, we mentioned that you can detonate bombs instantly by holding the down button. If we hadn't mentioned that already. That also applies to power bombs, which Stunt has been using here to basically, again, streamline his movement and speed up his passage through here. We're going to go ahead and fight the Ninja Golden Pirates here. We're going to kill them with our speed booster. Classic.
Yeah, the instant detonation thing is interesting because Project Base has long had that for regular bombs, which is great for speedrunning. You can just explode them just by holding down instead of not holding down. It'll just instantly detonate it. But with 8.0, I added that to power bombs, and it has made a appreciable difference with the speedrunning. It's very useful to be able to detonate it kind of as you're moving and not have to think about it.
Oh yeah. Now Stunt here fighting Ridley. At the very start of the fight, you may have seen this is a new strat recently developed that absolutely takes him out in no time flat. We call it juggling. You basically one of the things that was added in Project Base, it's been around for I think a couple versions, is that if you hold the jump button while shooting a super missile downward, it provides you a little bit of upward momentum, which you can fire quickly enough to basically keep yourself perpetually suspended in midair. And if you do it on top of Ridley, you can basically just bounce up and down off of his head while just peppering him with super missiles. It's a great way to end the fight really quickly. It's been in the hack for a while, but the strat was only recently developed. It's just kind of like a, how did we not think of this sooner kind of thing, but it's hilarious to watch.
Yeah, interestingly, that was actually the first patch I made for Project Base and incorporated a long time ago. Is the stream working for everyone else? Because for me, it's frozen.
It's looking good for me. It might just be on your end. All
right, no problem. I'll just keep going.
Try and refresh it.
Hopefully, it'll sort itself out at some point.
Yeah, you can always try refreshing. But yeah,
that super missile kind of bouncing, that's actually also inspired by a different game, in this case Cave Story, with the machine gun that lets you kind of move yourself vertically by shooting downwards. I thought that would be a great idea for super missiles, and it has a lot of interesting implications for speedrunning.
Oh yeah.
But Ridley is a really fun one, for sure.
Yeah. Now, something that Stunt just did there, which I believe he's done a couple times here, but it just haven't had a great time to mention it, is a technique that we call moon grabbing. That is, if you position yourself and time your inputs correctly, when you pick up an item, you can buffer a moonwalk. Which, because when you land on the ground in Project Base, your speed is preserved, it's not reset. You can actually moonwalk at full running speed, or even speed boosting speed, which allows you to kind of do this slick about face when you pick up an item. And we just absolutely melted Crocomire there, no pun intended. Just a single shot from a charged plasma beam will just knock him completely away. So clearly you are meant to fight him not this late into the game, but you can do it, and that's how this route goes. So it's pretty hilarious to see.
All right, cool. So I got like 6 or 7 minutes before I have to go. This is definitely a really fun run to watch. Because with bosses especially, you can really just tear through them. If you really know what you're doing, you're skilled like Stunt, and there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with bosses like that.
It's a great Shine Spark chain here exiting Norfair. So we're chaining multiple Shine Sparks together to just basically Shine Spark our entire way, just like that, out of Norfair. And we are now completely clean. We have all the items down there. So now we just have a little bit of cleanup in Pink Brinstar. It's called, I believe we call this Big Pink, or Pink Cleanup if you prefer. We're also going to stop by Blue Brinstar and Green Brinstar to catch up on some of the items there. And then we will be almost done with collecting the items, and we will be well on our way to heading to Turian.
Another great use of that jumping ahead of Shine Spark. I should also mention, when it comes to Shine Sparks, not only can you jump out of them, as you saw right there, you can actually move them laterally while you're Shine Sparking. And that's something that is sort of subtle, but is very useful for speedrunning, because you can avoid obstacles. You can start Shine Sparks at different points, and then move left or right or up or down based on how you're Shine Sparking, like right there, to be able to get a Shine Spark speed, but still move through the room without hitting any obstacles. This is something that you can't do in vanilla Super Metroid, and there's a lot of stuff that would be great to be able to do if you can move your Shine Spark or break out of it or anything like that. So Project Base was really intended to bring a lot of that versatility towards it.
Yep. Now another trick that I did just want to mention. So Stunt there had to open a power bomb door. Actually, earlier in the run, you may have seen him when he was jumping down that green sort of sloped area. We call it rolling hills. There is a trick. It's a little bit tricky. It requires some pretty precise positioning. But you can lay a power bomb and detonate it in midair on your way down through this area the first time to open up that power bomb door so that you don't need to power bomb it. But unfortunately, it looks like it didn't quite go through, so we just had to power bomb it. It's a very, very minor time loss, so it's really not a big deal. And Stunt there pulling off a pretty neat trick, shine sparking through the door to cause the echoes from his shine spark crash to kill all of the enemies and open up the doors. Very cool.
Yeah, if for anyone that doesn't know, the Shine Spark Echoes actually do crazy amount of damage. It's sort of a just do infinite damage kind of thing. It's not technically infinite, but it's in the thousands. So if you angle things right and you use your Shine Spark Echoes to hit an enemy, if it's able to be damaged by the Shine Spark Echoes, you can kill most enemies with it. That right there is a classic glitch, the Spore Spawn skip. A lot of different ways you can do it, but he just used the correct positioning there to sort of move the camera such that a super missile won't be off screen in time to not hit the super missile block, so you can position yourself just right so that you won't see it, but the super missile will be able to hit the block. And you'll be able to just go through without having to kill Spore Spawn. So that's something that's in Project Base as well as vanilla.
Yep. So we are almost done with all of our items here. We're just heading back up to Criteria. We just have, I think, 3 or 4 more items to collect. Possibly 5, actually. So we're going to Shine Spark up here into this room on the right. Grab this missile upgrade and then spark back. Looks really cool. Again, just only possible thanks to the awesome new Shine Spark and jumping out of a Shine Spark mechanics. Really, just if I believe there is a TAS in progress for this new version, and I have not seen a whole lot of it, but it has the potential to be one of the craziest things ever devised, because a TAS, not having to rely on human reflexes, can potentially just change Shine Sparks for a third of the whole game, if not longer.
I'm sure you can go through most of the game with a Shine Spark.
Yeah, you could probably preserve it's likely going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, like you saw there in that other room, he didn't make it all the way out with that Shine Spark, just because of the shot missed, but the fact that he could preserve the Shine Spark after getting the item, that's an example of just how far you can take Shine Sparks. You can really chain them for just ever. Changes
and
like
now
having
we have 100% items.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, that's a little thing I added from Metroid Prime. I just thought it was a great idea. A little message box that tells you when you got 100% items. I think that's a really useful thing, especially for speedrunning. I mean, it does, add an extra second or so, but it also confirms for you that you've got 100%. I think that's just a great little thing there. So I do have to leave very soon, but I just wanted to say, last thing is just the kind of the point of the code base in how it is designed. The kind of philosophy with Project Base, a very open Super Metroid hack, follows in the code as well. It's not public code yet, and that's really just because I'm trying to kind of tie up some ends. Basically, the next version needs to, it changes some of the way the code base works, so it's, not going to be, like, I'll have to actually wait to release the code, but it will be completely open and I've designed it from the get-go to be able to be not just utilized or adapted by high-level hackers, but also understandable with comments and with a consistent, you know, sort of style and philosophy throughout in terms of how the program works. But it's really meant to allow you to do way more than just what you see in Project Base. The options menu, that's just one thing you can do with the subscreen. You can add as many as you want. You can make them completely different. And now that's hopefully going to be available to people who aren't exceptionally skilled with, Super Nintendo hacking as well. But
If I may
it
just,
will be open and available.
Oh yeah. Now, if I may just jump in, we just saw a really crazy run through Turian, some absolutely mind-bendingly fast moves from Stunt to take out all of those Metroids along the way. Now, what he's going to be doing here is backflipping against Mother Brain to prepare for a trick known as stand-up, which basically allows us to skip or basically be active and movable and be able to attack Mother Brain during the big cutscene at the end of the fight, which allows us to basically skip or at least get a good chunk of the way through the final phase. So what Stunt is going to do here is he is going to Shine Spark at a very specific moment. Oh, no. Unfortunately, yeah, that trick is tight, so unfortunately we've missed it. So that is going to be... So unfortunately we will not be able to end the fight a little bit sooner, but that's all right. There is actually a soft lock risk for that trick. So it is... I have soft locked the game on more than one attempt trying to learn that trick, because if you do not perform a very specific set of actions while the trick is underway, you can soft lock or even just crash the game outright, and it is it's pretty crazy. So unfortunate we didn't get it there.
I do hate to cut you off. I do have to leave like this second, but it's been great being on this awesome run by Stunt as always. Please save the animals, and this is a great hack. Brian has done an amazing job, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And people can download it from his website at any time. So good luck with the rest of the escape sequence, and I will see you guys later. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Quote. Have a good one. All right. Do we have any donations to the incentive? All right. We're going to save those frames. And do we have any donations to read while we're just kind of killing Mother Brain here? Like maybe one donation?
Yeah. Also, I don't think they heard me say I don't think chat heard me say we're killing the animals. So just to reiterate, We are killing the animals. We did have a $50 donation from McBroom with no comment. Thank you very much. As well as a $50 comment from PJ Boy that says, "It was really difficult writing this comment without being able to take my eyes off the speedrun."
Yeah, PJ Boy is another member of the project-based community, and just, oh my gosh, so many awesome people run this game, help make this game, just a really fantastic community. Stunt here, doing basically the piece de resistance of Project Base, chaining a bunch of Shine Sparks here along the escape route. So we're going to be killing those animals. Oh, man. Yeah, sometimes that block can cause collision. I'm not quite sure what causes that. It's a little inconsistent, but that's okay. We are almost on our way out. Time will be coming up when we touch the ship and enter into it. Goodbye, animals. Time.
I think Stunt called it earlier. So, 43-34.
All right.
What was that?
That is not bad. 43-34.
Oh, wow. That's a really good time.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run, my dude. Like there were some like odd mistakes here and there, but that was some slick movement.
That's really
So
good
that
for a
is,
marathon.
yeah. I mean that is within 2 minutes of the current world record.
Nice.
Shaktool in the chat says says you are 1 second away from second place on the leaderboards with that time. So that is awesome.
Nice.
All right.
So, any shout-outs that we need to have? Any particular shout-outs you'd like?
I think probably Begrimed and Quote, first of all, for making this awesome hack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, I don't have anything.
I guess want to thank the community and just anyone who's ever put any time into Project Base, even people playing it casually. It's a really fun game to play. I know that we've, over the years, I think it's been about 6, almost 7 years now. The game has grown through the community, and it's just become a completely different speed run. Thanks to every single person that's put time into it. You can find the leaderboards at Super Metroid ROM hacks. Just type that into speedrun.com and it'll come up with the multi-scale leaderboard. Project Base is on there, and you can find the leaderboards right there. You can also look at archived runs at speedrun.com/SMPB, as in Super Metroid Project Base. But yeah, other than that, that's it.
Oh, do we Deer Force? Let me see. We're gonna
Deer
get Deer
Force.
Force here in a minute, and we actually do have some ROM hack credits at the very end. To kind of, I think that'd be a great shout out for everybody that's helped contribute to this. But also, if you want to download this hack for yourself, just search Super Metroid Project Base. It should be one of the first results there. It's at Begrimed's website. So that's how you get the official link for it. I believe we also have a Discord where you can come and hang out if you're interested in this hack. A lot of great people there. It's not always the most active place, but not every place is. But I really do encourage you, if you are at all interested by anything you saw during this run, whether it was the level design, whether it was the tech, whether it was the awesome maneuvers, or anything at all, definitely give this one a try. I really think that a lot of people will appreciate and enjoy this ROM hack. It's what got me into Super Metroid, where we got Deer Force. It's what got me into Super Metroid and speedrunning as a whole. So I'm a big fan, and I think that a lot of you guys will be too.
And finally, last thing, if anyone's interested in following any one of y'all, where would they be?
I don't really have anything in particular. I'm mainly just on Discord. I kind of lurk in most places.
Yeah, there's
Stunt, how about you?
There's a lot of tutorials on my YouTube if you want to get into speedrunning, or on the archived page. We have a ton of guides as well on speedrun.com. So if you're ever interested in getting into it, you can stop by.
And your YouTube is Stunt SR, correct?
Yep, Stunt_SR, same as my Twitch handle. So, or
all right, well, thank
anyone
you
that speedruns
so
it, you can just stop in their channel too and check them out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you both so very much. We are almost $300 in after the first run. That is super impressive.
Nice.
We're gonna keep on. We're gonna keep on moving things along. We're gonna be right back, everyone, and set up for our next run, which is going to be Bug Snacks by Conception SR. Stay tuned.
Nice.
Okay,